So like, compliments. Okay, hello. Well,
Hey.
Trebuchet.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. So, okay, Remy?
So my name is Rebecca,
That's right, yeah.
but nobody really knows my name. They call me Rebby. Rebby the Rebel.
Nice, I love that. I've been calling Kelly Terry, and then it's like, I think I just, Rebel, Terry, Kelly, like, it just, I put it all into Terry.
Yeah.
Like, that was just what my brain was like, you guys are Terry, like, you're collectively Terry.
Whatever it takes.
You guys have been awesome. I think this has been one for the books. Hannah's like, this isn't anything like I expected. Stuff's like, no, this is exactly what I expected. And I'm like, no, this is about what I expected.
Yeah.
Like, there's been some good, like, some positives, and then actually it's all been positive, but there's been some unexpected, and it's like in both ways.
Yeah.
In both ways.
Everyone has different life experiences, and it's all coming out right now.
And the one common denominator that we have is that we've all been traumatized by our own government.
Yep.
Through our judicial system.
It's an insidious crime.
It is an insidious.
No one knows about it, and when you try to explain it, they don't believe it.
No, unless you've lived it, you can't, like, unless you've lived it or you've seen somebody live it. Like my best friend, I wouldn't have survived it if it weren't for her and her husband, because he was a military officer, and it was like my only kind of level of protection was just that he was like, hey, if something happens to her, like, my wife's gonna be pissed about it, and I'm gonna be pissed about it. But you know, they're amazing people. But they, like, I still, like, every day I live in honor of their family for that, the safety that they gave me, so that someday, like, I know that their girls will never, hopefully, marry somebody like I did, but seeing me go through that, I'm like, I feel like I have to give back. I feel like I have to do something to make up for the hell and the terror that I put their family through. But, like, it wasn't, there was just no choice at any point to surrender. Because it was like, what do? We die?
You can't. There's literally, the battle is, there's two options in life. You either choose the side of good or choose the side of evil.
Yeah.
There is no in between.
Yeah.
Period. And so everyone we met here has been good.
Yeah.
And everyone we're fighting against is evil. And let's go.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
It is. It's black and white.
So, okay, so reverse. So, your wife,
Yes.
Kelly.
Kelly.
How long have you been married?
Well, we're not, like, technically married, but we live a life as a married couple. We've both been married before, and we're not trying to involve the government. But
Love that.
past that, we got together in August of 2019. So
My brother and his
7 years?
partner, they've been together like 25 years, and they, same thing, like, my brother-in-law says my husband, and then my brother is like kind of old school and stuff apart, but like, it's like, you know, I'm like, but he's my brother-in-law, you know, for all intents and purposes.
exactly.
So I try to explain to people, I'm like, well, I've got 5 brothers, and then 6 if you have the other one, and then they're like, wait, what's going on here? And I'm like, well, one's married to a guy, and then they're like, oh, okay, that's where the extra one comes in.
Yeah.
Point of the story is, I get it. Also, I applaud you for not involving the government in your personal life. I used to be such a marital purist, where I was like, I'm going to be married one time and that's it, and you know, it's like, and because I did really see it as like a sacred, holy, like, thing that I took.
And that's what it should be.
Yeah. But it shouldn't be a contract with the government, and if it is a contract with the government to get a tax break, then it should be, the way to get into a contract should be, like, the way that you get into a marriage should be just as easy to get out of a marriage as it is to get into a marriage.
Yeah.
There should be, if you're gonna get money for being married and there's a tax credit, then this is a business deal that you have with the government, and you should be able to back out of that deal or get out at certain checkpoints. Like, you're not doing this, okay, we're out. And so when you get stuck in family court, and then it's like, there's the relationship aspect of it, and then the financial aspect of it, and then it's like, it just piles on, and you're like, what's happening? So you and your wife.
Yeah. The web is so large, we could talk forever about it. But yeah, my wife and I, we've been together for, let's just say, 7 years.
Okay.
And she, when I met her, had full custody of her children, 4 of them. And the ex-husband has been fighting her nonstop, trying to drain her financially. And I came into the picture, and I, by the grace of God, grew up in a very healthy family. And I started introducing her like, no, this is what family looks like. This is what it can be. And we became very successful together, and her ex-husband has become extremely jealous of me because her 4 children, their 4 children, are 100% bonded to me. They call me their stepdad. Like, I am their father, regardless of my gender. That's the role I play in their lives.
Yeah.
And he became so jealous that retaliation is only his answer because his ego was hit.
Yeah. But you know what? I respect that because, like, I'm in this phase. Like, I used to be super. I don't know. Like, there's so much going on with gender. But I played women's rugby. I don't know if I.
Me too.
Did you? I know. I feel like what year did you graduate? You feel like a chick I used to play rugby with.
So it's a lot. 2013, I graduated college. College was when I played rugby, not
I
high
did
school.
too. Yeah, I played in college, but I'm older than you because I graduated in 2007. But yeah, you gave off rugby chick vibes.
Yeah, it's totally my vibe.
You know what's funny? Right before I started this podcast, I'd been podcasting for years, but right before we launched the Trebuchet, the night before, like literally the night before, I had this dream that I was at a rugby party, and I walk in, I'm like, this feels like a rugby party, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, yeah, it's a rugby party, and then I see the ducks, and I'm like, it's my dirty ducks. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing here? They're like, ah, and I'm like, and so it was really funny. Steph keeps just going, okay, boss, and I go, okay, sauce. She said sauce. Boss sauce, whatever, and I go, do you know that's what they called me in college? It was like my nickname in rugby was hot sauce, and so it's just so funny that she keeps like, yeah, now she's my sauce, and anyways, it's just funny. Okay, so rugby chicks, but I respect that, and I have always like had an awareness that like gender is very fluid and all those things, but then there's biological hard stops, and that's where like my brothers are old school about that kind of stuff. That it's like you can't take it too far, but I like the idea that you can be that constant safe person in a child's life to like provide a safety net. Like I see what you've done here. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, okay, like we're feeling so, like you were the first one. I was like, hey, can you watch my really expensive equipment? Never met you, but you seem trustworthy. Can you like just post
no
up
problem.
right here? I know. I was like, yeah, I trust you. While you're asking for a tampon, I'm like, I'll get you a tampon. And you watch my $30,000 worth of equipment.
I freaking live in DC with so many tampons now. Everyone's been so worried about my tampon intake. I got so many. I'm like freaking set. CVS, I got more than you now.
Was very Kelly. We were talking about it earlier. She said that like everybody's synced up on her, and like in the family, she's like,
the most powerful hormones.
Yeah, I go when I was in college and all my women rugby women's rugby players.
Yeah.
We lived in a house together, and we were all synced up on our roommate Molly. Like she would go like to wherever, and we'd all kind of like all over, and then Molly would come home, and the next month we're like, whoop,
we're all set.
Yeah, and so we're like, Molly, when's our period? But we called her the DV, the dominant vagina.
Yep.
And so
that's freaking her.
Yeah, she's the DV, which we're taking back the term domestic violence, and now it's like, what's the dominant vagina?
That's the freaking first time I've ever heard that. That's
the DV.
That's hysterical.
Because she was like, it was like, who's got the whatever? We're like, she's the DV. She's the dominant vagina.
Freaking Molly.
Yeah, Molly.
Freaking Kelly.
What's Molly's last name? Molly.
DV.
Molly Reagan. Molly Reagan. Yeah. Isn't it funny? But no, playing women's rugby in college was like some of the best years of my life. I haven't felt as good in my life as I do now as I did then. I mean, all this hell aside, if I were to take this part of my life out, the rest of it's really great. But then at the same time, the rest of it wouldn't be as great if I wasn't doing this, because this feels like even the fact that everybody wants to do this and give their testimony, I'm so honored that I'm like, man, who knew that me having a big ass mouth would actually like help other people? And that's how it feels now. Is like, so what I want to ask you is, you've witnessed this for 7 years. How long had she been going through it with him before?
Oh my gosh, she met him in high school. So they were 17 when they met, and they're 36 now. So almost 20 years she's been going through this. And I've only been in it for 6, now coming on 7 years. And it's at least her ex-husband is so deviant, so charming, so cunning, that even like the last 4 years, I was like, okay, yeah, he's like weird, but never did I know the depth of his evil until we came into the family court system.
Yeah.
And now, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And once you see one speck of it, the whole corruption comes together. And he's evil. He's truly not just Kelly's ex-husband. It's everyone's ex-husband. It's satanic.
Yeah.
It's what it truly is, a spiritual warfare.
It is. So many people in this are like, that's what it is, and it's because you're like, there's just no need for it. Like, why? Like, especially since so many of the women here are so acquiescent, and so like they're like, I would have surrendered a long freaking time ago. Like, I gave up everything a long time ago. Like, I'm homeless, did like food. Everybody goes, how are you doing all this? I'm like, God, literally God.
That's it.
When you grace of God,
nothing. You feel it. for people that don't believe in God or anything like that,
Go through family court.
yeah, go through family court. You'll have something for you.
Man, so I want to talk to you about you know who Ted Bundy is?
That's our ex-husband.
That's our ex-husband. Like, you call him like ours. He's like our.
And his wife is Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Who's Carol Ann?
So Ted Bundy, when he was in prison, married a woman and had a child. She was like totally for him. Had no idea he was the serial killer that he is. I would say our ex-husband.
Wait, she married him while he was in prison?
Yep, and had a baby with him.
But why? Like, what? Oh, but because
she thought she was innocent. It's the manipulation, the power, control.
You know what's so crazy? Once I left my ex, it was kind of like what Trish was talking about, like the inside out. He had always kept my worldview so small, and like when I had a problem with somebody or something, I would like say something to him, and he would be whoop, and then he's the good guy, and they're the bad guy.
Yeah.
And so I would like really dislike certain people, and I didn't realize until like I removed him from that spot that a lot of these people I didn't have any issues with. They actually had
the common denominator.
A military officer that he served with over a decade ago goes, Autumn, you're married to a sociopath. Because he was when I knew him, he was like a baby Ted Bundy. Mm-hmm. And he was so charming and so charismatic that it made me think that he was, it's like not intentional, and maybe it's like, but then he's like, but there were things, and then when I filled in a few of the blank spots for him, I was like, well, you got passed up for promotion because he took your promotion because he wanted it, not because he needed it, because he wanted it.
Yep.
And he was just like, oh man, but then the other guy needed it, and so, but he's cool, he's not like bitter or vindictive or anything like that. He might come on, what about Aquila?
That's because he's a good person.
Yeah, but it's so crazy because for like 10 years, Aquila lived rent-free in my head as the bad guy.
Yeah, it's crazy what they can do.
And now he's the good guy.
With just a few words, what they can do.
Okay, so how do we combat this besides this and speaking out and elevating the voice and like all of these voices, which that's what we're doing. Like season 2 is, I don't know if Kelly got a chance to talk to you, but
I was like, let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's like we're here on our own. We're just doing this all by ourselves because
this is what we need. We got nothing more to lose. This is how every movement starts, and we're gonna do it. This is an insidious war on our children, more than anything. Like I always tell Kelly, like, forget about me, forget about my emotions. I was like, we are the adults in this situation.
Yeah. These
children mean the whole world.
Yeah.
So
well, and you know what's so gross is the people that profit.
Mm-hmm.
Like these lawyers, these judges, so get this. A couple of weeks ago, I went public, and I mean I've been public for a while with my DOD, Department of Defense, whistleblowing, and I'm fully allowed to talk about it. There's no gag orders, there's no nothing. And so I was really sticking very, very close to the script because we'd already lost sponsors. We'd already, and like I'm only getting to do this because of like family connections, and my producer is an angel and is a survivor, and it was like I want to elevate your voice. He's like, I want to, and he's like, you've got this, just keep going. And I'm like, no, like, but he saw kind of like you and C. Ray will really get along well because he has put his heart and soul and like everything into this at his own sacrifice. And every day, like there have been times when we've had these come to Jesus where I'm like, this is where you have to leave me. I'm like, you have to go. I'm like, let go, just let me die like an elephant. I'm like, just like cut me from the herd, let me go. And there were nights that like, if he hadn't been there, I probably would have ended up dead. Like not because I would have killed myself necessarily, but like, would I have forgotten to eat? Probably. Would I have like driven the car and parked on the side of the road and just like whatever happens because you're like,
the pain is so severe.
It is.
No one can relate until you live it.
Yeah. And because it's caused by the person who knows you better than anybody in the world and knows that you will never stop fighting for your children.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we understand.
And I mean, Kelly and I were talking about like the psyche valves, and what's cool about being a military spouse for all those years is I'm very comfortable across the country. Like I've lived in the South, I've lived in DC, I've lived in the East, I grew up in Alaska, I've lived in Hawaii, like I've lived in all these places. So I have like a little bit of a taste for the culture everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of go like, so you guys are from Ohio. So I could see how being a same-sex couple would also be kind of something that's like, ooh, how can we twist this? How can we pervert it? How can we make it something that it's not, you know? And then you're like, well, in LA it wouldn't even be a thing, but.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like, I mean, I've lived in New York City. I lived there for 7 years. I lived in Nashville. Kelly and I, we don't really present ourselves as a lesbian couple. Like, the least important part of who Kelly and I are our sexuality. So we don't even get on that movement. And funny enough, our GAL and the director of the GAL was a gay man and a lesbian woman. Our sexuality played no factor in it because it's not important. All they care about is money. People are always like, they're going after you because you're gay. They're like, no. They've been going after Kelly before her and I were even a thing. It has nothing to do with our sexuality.
It's the money.
All that matters is that they see that we are successful white. Honestly, whether you want to bring race into it or not, they see that we are successful white women.
Yeah.
And they feel that we are privileged and that we need to be taken down.
Yep.
And they are.
There is a pattern that I have seen across this, and even when there's women of color who are like in this like zeitgeist,
They have money.
Yeah, but predominantly their abuser is a white male.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll just say it, black men are too damn smart for this shit. They already know the system's rigged against them. They're not going to win.
They're already stuck in the system.
Yeah.
So that's why the court doesn't need to worry about them.
Yeah.
They want more people in the system like us.
You know what? The pattern that I'm seeing is the apex, so I call them apex predators. So
That's
it's
what they
white, rich men who are used to the system, like, working for them. It's kind of like the Dave Chappelle joke.
Yeah.
Where he talks about, like, the gay guys. He's like,
Oh,
jump in, fellas, we paved these roads.
Yeah.
We just like, anyways, they know how the system works because they created the system, and they know that it will be deferential to them, and you know, black men are too smart to get involved. And I jokingly say that because when my ex had an affair with another officer in Vegas, there was a third officer there, and he left, and for years I've drilled him, and I'm really good friends with best friends with his wife for 15 years now. And there was a point when I did not say anything because I didn't want him dead. I was like, dude, I'm like, I saved you from your own funeral. But he really genuinely he was not involved. He had plausible deniability because he got in a car and left. And I was like, how are you that smart and my ex wasn't? He's like, well, I don't. I was like, why didn't my ex go with you? So do the math, right? 2 chicks, 2 dudes, no, 2 chicks, 3 dudes. 1 dude leads, so now you got 2 and 2. This guy says that my ex is the one who was with the 2 chicks. My ex says it was the guy with 2 chicks. So it's like they're both saying like, oh, it was like an orgy, but they both are saying the same thing. I'm like, so you're both admitting to knowing that the other one did something wrong and neither of you said anything. Both of you are assholes. Both of you, Adam Manine and Daniel Seibel, both of you are assholes, and you were uniformed service members, which means you did that on her tax-paying dime, on all of our tax-paying dimes. Fuck you and fuck the DOD, and you guys better fucking refund us our money, because that's naughty. Okay, sorry, that's my 2 cents. But that's what I mean. Like, they are so used to just getting what they want. But Gozy, nope. He got his ass out of there because he's a black man. He knows he's going down for a crime, even if he didn't commit it.
Yep.
Anyways, the pattern I notice is apex white predators, apex white men, like white men. I said it on season 1, and I even said exactly what you said, whether you want to bring race into it or not. And what's so crazy and so full circle about this was in 2018, before I moved to Africa, we got stationed in Africa, and I was working at the U.S. Army Center of Military History, and I just had my little boss here, Doug, and he's awesome, and he's not one of these guys at all, never in a million years. But there were like people that I worked with that like did like wild ass shit, like showed me pictures of dicks in the middle of the day, where I was like, ew, I don't want to be like looking at a nutsack on a Tuesday. Like, I got a big presentation today, dude. Like, but then they thought it was funny, and then it's like, and I would say this to my lash lady, her name is Candace, and she just like had a spot up here on 8, and I was like, Candace, I'm sorry, I owe you a big apology. You were like 10 years ahead of she was like ahead of it, and I wasn't there yet. I wasn't awake enough yet. And she goes, Autumn, they're testing you. And I said, no, I don't think they know what they're doing. She's like, yes, they do. They know exactly what they're doing. And they're doing it because nobody's going to check them and nobody's going to call. And I was like, well, I just don't really see it that way. And now I'm like, and I was like, I just don't see it like that. And she goes, and I go, and you know, like, casting them all with one brush is just, I think it's, you know, it's like a little bit much. She goes, see, that's the problem. Women like you. And I was like, well, what the fuck did I do? And she goes, well, women like you give birth to men like that. And then you raise them, and I was like, okay, whoa. Like, I thought that was like way too much. But then the more I actually, I was like, when my ex was doing that to me, I was like, over my dead body, will my son do this to a woman? And for me, that was the line.
That's how it normally is. Once you have children with these kind of men, and you see that the damage that they're doing to them is when you wake up. Most.
Yeah. And you know, not all. To say this about race and all that, there's also something I'm seeing in like the southern, in the Hispanic cultures, and it's the awareness that courts were favorable to them during certain administrations. And so, because there's historically an apprehension to go to authority when you're a person of my, which granted, like I'm the last person to be talking about any of this, but you're a minority or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not a minority.
Well,
I'm very privileged.
Well, but like your sexual identity would make you.
And I'll say this is what they try to divide us on. So there's people that their whole mindset is only their sexuality and they're so insecure with who they are. But really, we're the human race.
Yeah.
It doesn't. My sexuality, as I said before, is the least important part about me. I don't ever describe myself as a lesbian.
I love it.
It's irrelevant.
I think that if we were to take the world at, like, right now none of us can see color, that everything is black and white, right? I think that what we're seeing is power and absence of power.
Yeah.
It's all about control.
That's all it is, power and
All
control.
about and then it's who thinks that they are entitled to the most amount of control within, like, a society.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. Once you break down all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we get out? Show us. Show me the way.
Every battle has its own time. There's no way we will ever get out because, like I said, good and evil always exists. Yeah. So it's just time. Time is something in our physical world that will never be conquered, but doing the right thing is never wrong. So
do you feel like you're fighting for your grandkids?
I'm freaking fighting to my death. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to grandkids. That's how intense this movement is. Our enemies make so much money off of destroying families that they will do anything to destroy us. So I'm not even thinking about grandkids. I'm thinking literally this generation right now. And by the grace of God, if all the work that all of us put in becomes successful, then I will have the hope for our grandkids. But I'm not even there yet. I'm literally, every single day, I'm just like, we're making it to dinner. I was like, we're making it to dinner. And when dinner's not enough, I'm like, we just gotta make it to breakfast. I live my life literally by meals. I'm like, today's so tough. Whatever I do during the day, I have to make it to dinner. That's how devastating this is.
Family quarters. And it's because your business is doing well. Everything else is great except for this thing that is draining every ounce of your vital life force.
Yeah, which then obviously affects everything on the outside world. But what they want us to do is to be destroyed. I will not have that. I am the most optimistic, positive, God-fearing woman.
You're a rebel.
Besides my mother. Yeah, I'm a rebel, is what I am.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
No matter what evil tries to take me down, it might take me down for a couple days to process and recover, but that recovery time is power, and you better watch the fuck out.
What's crazy though is, like, you're not even the victim; you're a secondary victim.
Yeah, I'm a secondary victim. I'm a caregiver to these 4 children.
Yeah.
And I have to sit here and see the pain, not only of these 4 children that are obsessed and love me, but that I also love as if I was their parent. But then I have to see this woman that I love so much, who's an incredible woman from the inside out, go through severe pain. And not only her, it affects my family, but beyond my family, since we're not genetically connected, her sisters, who are also incredible mothers, her aunts, all the entire female matriarchal line is totally abolished through all of this. The pain doesn't end with Kelly and her kids. It affects generations in the past, and it is going to affect generations in the future. That is the power that these family court systems hold, and they know it, and they know how to destroy it. I'm telling you, I will die fighting this cause.
This is your hell.
I
said that like 2 weeks ago. I was like, this is my hell.
No one's, we have nothing to lose. So come at us. Mm-hmm. We're going to fuck you up big time.
Yeah. I mean, that is what it really comes down to, is just staying alive, staying safe. I gave Kelly some cheat codes earlier, so I'll give them to you off camera.
Yeah,
there's so much more here. There's so much more here.
Yeah, but we have a whole other line of women that need to tell their stories.
Yes, okay, go. I'm like, I get on these things and I'm like, but I wanted to hear your experience of, like, what it's like, and, like, you are supporting somebody, and for you to say you're just trying to make it to your next meal.
Yeah.
I've said that before. I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow I'll have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, just make it a dinner.
Yeah, and mine was, I'll make it to a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, I won't kill myself tonight. But I was never suicidal. I just was like, I won't intentionally like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, put myself in harm's way, or just like give up on. I'll instead of going and sitting on the stoop, I'll go inside.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
So.
I know what you're doing is emotionally exhausting, hearing all of our stories, because each of them hold such deep pain, and I really want to sincerely thank you, Stephanie, and your whole staff.